the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning and welcome to INCRadio Washington DC Satellite Studio. I'm Brother Vince Carl Fortes, and today it is Saturday, September 21, and we are talking about ways to style your wardrobe for the autumn/fall season. It is starting to get a little bit cold, so it's time for us to wear some sweaters, some jackets, and what better way to go into the season than figure out what kind of style you would like to have for this next autumn/fall season. And before we go ahead and talk about that, we have a little bit of an expert on this topic about fall fashion, and we'd like to hear a little bit of his little tips and tricks on how to create this kind of wardrobe for us. So let's go ahead and introduce our guest today. So, Brother Jess, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Justin Gonzalez from the local congregation of Waldorf. I am 24, and I've been doing fashion for a little bit. From the time of middle, high school, I have been experimenting with a couple of things, so I am able to give my one or two take on certain subjects, especially for this season.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for joining us today. And, fall fashion, it is a big thing. It is kind of a niche kind of thing. And what comes to mind when you think of fall fashion?
So when it comes to fall fashion, a lot of times I don't really think about color. I don't really wear certain colors in different seasons. It's whatever you want to wear. But of course, it's all about the temperature. So if you're cold, wear layers, maybe something with a colored shirt, V-neck, crew neck sweater, or you could wear something when it comes to like a hoodie, to a trench coat, to an overcoat. So depending on how you layer or how you keep yourself warm, I would say that's the number one rule when it comes to fashion in fall.
I love that. And I love that you don't talk about color palette, because I cannot figure out how to match those colors sometimes. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And I end up having something that I don't feel comfortable wearing in the end because it doesn't fit right.
Typically, you always want to stick with, basics first. And then if you want to be a little bit bold and wear those like burnt orange, burgundy colors, that's when you can start experimenting. But basics is like the foundation.
I agree. I totally agree. And speaking of, terms of pieces, in terms of like the types of clothing, what is your favorite all-time fall fashion piece?
There's a lot. And the thing is, I think the hardest thing to figure out is because everybody fluctuates in weight. So when you buy a certain size and you start working out, you lose weight. Those nice pieces that you like to wear don't fit anymore. So I would say the nicer pieces for me right now that fit pretty well, it is a cropped puffer jacket. Puffer jacket, you don't really have to maintain. You can throw it in like a suitcase or a bag if you're commuting. You don't have to put this on a hanger. You can quite literally throw it into some sort of bag, take it out, and it looks just fine. And the wrinkles don't even pop out as easy. So something that is really low maintenance, but does still keep you warm, but also stylish. I would say right now it's a puffer jacket.
I agree. I need one. I do have one, but it's white, and I want a black one.
I have a white one.
You have a white one too? Wow, that's awesome.
Slide it out. I can't wait to slide it out. Because fall's coming. It's getting colder. I think this whole week was like 80 degrees. But now we're looking around.
To get colder because I remember even this morning, it was, I woke up pretty early this morning. It was 67 degrees Fahrenheit.
Beautiful.
I'm not used to that. I'm from Texas.
Yeah, it's hot over there.
Yeah, I'm not used to that.
Remember Mikey, I think I gave him a little care package, and his girlfriend was like, "Oh, I'd love to meet your cousin who gave you all this stuff."
Shout out to Brother Mikey as well, because he also is. I just remember he's related to you. So yeah, I didn't realize you sent the clothes. That's actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of clothes, and I know you just said that you don't really do color palettes because you're more so in terms of dress for the weather and not necessarily dress for the color. But if you were to describe, your certain palette, like what is your fall fashion color palette?
So a lot of the colors I'd like to wear typically in fall, they're super basic and they still work well with a lot of the pieces in fall. And you could quite literally, of course, wear these exact same colors in any other season. But typically in the winter, I like to wear darker clothing. Of course, when it's brighter, you also want to wear lighter clothing. So right now, I think my rotations for colors, I don't like to experiment with crazy colors all that much. But green, I'm going to throw in a light pink, even though it should be a little bit darker. But of course, your white, blacks, and grays, all your minimal grayscale colors. Those are in my rotation right now.
Wow. Wait, how does a light pink work? I'm curious.
Light pink? I could show you, I don't know if it's light pink, but it's like a mid pink. Hold on, let me see. I have a box full of these basics. These are my sales, and the blurring is not doing anything justice. But pretty much all these darker colors and like these lighter colors right here, these are like my interesting or bolder colors. Because typically, I think.
Okay, so it's more.
Easier.
It's more like a matted kind of pink, not necessarily like really light pink. It's more like a muted kind of pink, not matted, muted. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really nice. Okay, I also love your organization of your clothes as well.
That's a shoebox, by the way. That's
a shoebox. Wow,
yeah. That's how I organize my shirts.
Fashionable and resourceful. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that a lot. That's actually really like I should do. I have a lot of shoe boxes. I could do that.
Yeah, I didn't want to buy any sort of like organizers or anything, so I was like, what do I have now?
That is actually really cool. I love how you organize that. I'm going to ask for organization tips as well. Might as well, right? So, organization tips as well when it comes to your clothes. But, in terms of your color palette, now that we've talked about your color palette, there's more to clothes than just the actual clothes. It's also the accessories as well. So are there any accessories you are excited to bring out into the fall?
Ooh, is it cool if I show them?
Of course it's cool if you can show them.
Oh, okay, let's go. I keep mine in little boxes. Typically, these in here, in like this crocodile little box, is where I put all like my nicer ones that I like to wear on special occasions, or maybe outings with some friends. Who knows? But I have the exact same thing, just in two different colors, silver and gold. I think my favorite one that I like to wear is this simple silver bangle.
Oh, wow.
Just slide it on, and now you're ready for a wedding. Now you're ready for, I don't know, just eating out with some friends. It does stand out. That is really cool. Of course, it does slide off a little bit. I think I have fluctuating weight, so it does slide a little bit. But I think this is one of my nicer ones. Of course, you can accessorize with, some rings, but don't go too crazy. If anything, I like to throw on at least one or two. Something like this. Throw it on the ring finger. Boom. Now you're accessorized.
I love that. And I love that you showed it. It looks so nice.
Yeah. There you go. Sometimes so I do have other pieces.
Pieces like bracelets on your wrists as well as rings. And I see that you have a necklace as well.
Yeah, so I like the ones that I'm wearing right now because I don't usually take it off. It's kind of like, it's like my beater necklace. I wear it for everything. And if anything, I like to switch it off with something else. And I could show you that too. But of course, you could do something simple from a couple of rings that aren't too crazy, but super nice, super formal. So you can wear them on multiple occasions. Of course, you can wear it to church and style a little bit. Or, like I said, if you're just going out to some events or especially for district events. I think it's really nice to throw in at least a ring or two. When it comes to necklaces, just a couple. This is like your standard Cuban link right here.
Wow.
Something a little thicker. I mean, granted, these aren't expensive and they don't have to be. I usually wear silver as well. A lot of people make this rule like, oh, depending what your undertone color of your veins are, you have to wear a certain color gold. Like you can't wear rose gold because you're more pink. Just wear whatever you want. I'm just more comfortable with silver. This is a basic Cuban link. And then if you want to, I don't know, be a little bit more adventurous, we have this rope.
Wow.
Chain.
Oh, so it's called rope. Okay, I've always wondered.
This rope chain. Right now, I just have like, I don't even know what they call this, but I have it on. I don't usually take this one off.
Standard.
Very simple.
Very simple. I like your simplistic style. It's very easily like interchangeable. So you don't have to worry about too much. You don't have to do too much. So all you have to do is just, based on your outfit, see what fits and see what matches, especially with like kind of staple pieces, staple accessories. So that way it can just easily go with anything. I love that. I love that a lot.
And that's what I like about like these minimal stuff. Sorry to cut you off, but it's a very easy piece that can transition itself into streetwear, something more casual, or even formal events. You don't really have to try too hard as long as it's something simple and understated. I think you could wear it with anything. So that's the beauty of it.
I love that. I love that a lot. And it sounds like you were inspired by somebody when it comes to like this kind of fashion. So where or who do you draw your fashion inspiration from?
Granted, social media is always out there. A lot of people from different countries, especially people who do outrageous, like fashion walkways. You learn a decent amount. Like it's not what you do to wear that, or like an occasion where you have to wear like these crazy pieces. It's just the thought of you experimenting, and also there's certain pieces that you stand out amongst certain walkways or people in the gala. You're like, you know what? I think that specific piece, that very minimal one, I could rock that. And you kind of like implement something of that nature inside your everyday, I guess, outfits as you go out or go to work. So I think one of the few, especially in our locale, one of the people that kind of inspired me when it comes to fashion and getting some of my ideas, shout out, brother Matt Ocampo from Temple Hills. He's a real one. He knows what's up. He's a trend setter for sure. But everything else when it comes to like menswear fashion, definitely a lot of inspiration from social media influencers and people on YouTube. Of course, I do have like my occasions when I talk to other brethren and stuff like that. But you learn everywhere, whether you talk to them or not. You see it everywhere.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And shout out to Brother Matt. I need to look at his photos. If he has photos, I would love to see what he was wearing so I can get some ideas as well, because I need a new wardrobe.
No, you got it, man. You got it.
I need a new wardrobe. I need to prepare a little bit more when it comes to my type of fashion. Speaking of preparation, preparing your wardrobe, now that it's starting to get into the colder months, it's starting to get into the months where we're kind of needing a little bit more layers on top of us. What do you wear when it's, warm during the day, but then also cold at night, and then vice versa?
Personally, for me, I am a cheat code in the winter. I get easily warm. I get hot very easily. So summer is not my season at all. I like to stay indoors as much as possible because it's cooler. And also, it's also easier in the winter to warm yourself up. There's only so many things you could do to keep yourself cool and style in the summer. There's not a lot of things you could utilize when it comes to being creative. But for the most part, right now, when it comes to fall fashion for layering, of course, that depends on what kind of pieces you have and what you're willing to do to work with it. But when it comes to layering, it's one of the most complicated things to do. There's reverse layering. There's, of course, regular layering. So you have your shirt, then your hoodie, and then you have something longer like an overcoat or trench coat. Or if you want to do it reversed, where you have, like, let's say your shirt peeking out from your hoodie to add some depth, and then you have another layer on top of that. There's a lot of things you could play around with. I think it's the most exciting weather to play around with, just because that you can work with so many colors, lengths, different types of jackets, toggle coats, puffer jackets, trench coats, Sherpa jackets, or even like regular denim jackets with hoodies. There's just so many things at your disposal to use, which is the most fun part.
I agree, and I actually started noticing a lot of people starting to layer in different ways that I didn't even know was possible. When it came to like sweatshirts and hoodies, I've been seeing a lot of people putting on hoodies and then like a pea coat or a formal coat on top of it.
Yes,
and I would have never thought to do that, considering something so casual like a hoodie being put on top, like being put underneath something so formal like a pea coat or a trench coat. It was kind of foreign to me, but when I saw it on, I loved it. It looked so nice.
Yeah. Shout out to all the K-dramas. They know what they're doing. It's always cold over there, so every time you watch a K-drama, it's just whoever curates their wardrobe, they know what's up. They know what's up. And
I totally agree.
I've seen some interesting outfits being created with that. Turtlenecks and cardigans. I've seen turtlenecks and then hoodies over it. They've done very interesting things that I've never thought existed.
Yes, and it's kind of just like you said, in the winter, it's almost easier to experiment because you have those layers, and because you have those layers, it's a lot easier to even reverse it, kind of be like, okay, I don't like that layer, so let's change it up a bit, because you can. In the summer, not as much. When it's warm, you can't really do that as much because it's warm. You don't want to wear as many layers as possible when it's warm. You kind of want to have not as much layers. So I totally agree with that, and I love that answer because it's so true. And speaking of kind of outfits, in terms of repairing those outfits, how do you prepare your outfits for worship service during the autumn time? Because that's different, In summertime, normally you'd wear just a regular button-up shirt and pants, but then maybe a tie, maybe not a tie. But in the wintertime, autumn time, when it's starting to get a little colder, you have more options. So what do you do to prepare those outfits?
Yeah, there's only so many things you could wear, especially formally, because you have to look your best. It's called Sunday best for a reason. So majority of the time, it's always formal. I would say the pieces that stand out the most is probably going to be footwear, one, and outerwear, which is basically your coats and your jackets. So for me, I like to throw in more boots. Right?
More blues. Ooh, okay.
So more boots, so more high top dress shoes. Other than that, since hoodies are kind of too casual, maybe some cardigans. Maybe I'll pull out some jackets. But like I said, I don't wear anything too heavy just because I heat up a little bit easier than I'll say the average person. So something a little bit more lighter weight. Sounds counterintuitive because you're supposed to be wearing a little, thicker clothes, more layers, but I like to wear at least one additional layer from what I'm wearing right now. So for this one, I'll probably wear an overcoat, or maybe a Sherpa jacket. It always depends on the occasion.
It always depends on the occasion. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It always depends on the occasion. What is like a signature thing when it comes to the fall? It is a must kind of thing. It's like the most versatile thing that you can do for the fall for you.
Yeah. So for the fall, I don't see a lot of people wearing it, but it's definitely a must. It's a turtleneck. It's a mix between something casual and something also formal. It's super easy to put on. It keeps you warm, but it adds some sort of sophistication to your outfit. And of course, like it does keep your neck warm, but it also adds a little bit of depth. So if you wear a denim jacket, you would have that little piece of cloth that hangs out. And of course, you could play around with the height. Sometimes people use it to like cover their face. Sometimes you could roll the turtleneck out, or you could roll it in for a more cleaner look. But yes, a signature piece. Not a lot of people do wear it. Turtlenecks, 100%.
I totally agree. I have a turtleneck. I have like 3 turtlenecks, and I'm waiting. I am waiting to wear them because I love
ahead of the game.
turtlenecks.
You are ahead of the game.
I love wearing turtlenecks because they are such a versatile piece. I mean, you can easily dress it casually, or you can even dress it up. It's so easy to do when it comes to a turtleneck. And I totally agree with you with it being super sophisticated in terms of how it looks. You can easily like have everybody's eyes on you the minute you have a turtleneck, especially if you're the only one with a turtleneck.
It is an eye catcher. You can wear it casually and formally. So formally with a suit, and it does stand out, or something casual with a denim jacket or a cardigan. It's that must-have piece for sure.
Thank you so much for sharing all of your insights when it comes to fall fashion. Do you have any special greetings that you like to give before we end the show?
I would say the only special greeting I like to greet is my sister on INCRadio, Sister Darlene Dizon, who just had their 2nd kid. So congratulations. Other than that, another shout out once again, Matt Ocampo, one of the people that also inspired me when it came to fashion in general, or at least experimenting with different things. I think him advising me for certain trends, since he is a trendsetter, I definitely adopted some of his style mechanics and ideas. So yeah, definitely shout out to him.
All right, thank you so much for your shout outs. Now for our CFO in action and unstoppable highlights, let's go ahead and check out our recent district activities.
On Sunday, September 1, brethren throughout the District of Washington, D.C. gathered to witness the international premiere of the Sebsi film, Haligi. Families, friends, and loved ones were inspired by the stories of 4 fathers overcoming the struggles of supporting their impoverished families through finding the true faith.
Now let's check out what's happening next on INCRadio Washington, D.C.
Whether you're a proud dog owner or a cat lover, every pet brings unique challenges and rewards. From playful puppy antics to cozy cat cuddles, being a pet parent is an adventure like no other. Join us on INCRadio Washington DC as we embark on a journey filled with love, joy, and a few surprises in the world of pet parenting on Saturday, September 29, 2024 at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. See you there.
Following us today is INCRadio Florida at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for their unstoppable support. And we'd like to thank our INCRadio Washington, D.C. family for supporting our broadcast, especially to our Sebsi president, Brother Angelo Manalo, and of course, our very special greeting to our executive minister of Iglesianicristo Church of Christ, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you for tuning in to INCRadio Washington, D.C. Satellite Studio. Stay unstoppable.
Before and after I eat, I wash my hands. dried.
Hello, I'm Sister Lillian Talmans, and here's how I brush my teeth as my mom taught me. Brushing your teeth after every meal or at least twice a day is another hygiene habit that everyone should have. Brushing your teeth is an important part of your dental care routine and help to prevent gum disease. Hi, I'm Katie Natividad. My mom taught me that before going to bed and after waking up in the morning, I should wash my face. I comb my hair every day so it always looks good. And I make sure my clothes are clean before I go to bed. Good night.
But it is right to show kindness.
We are presenting the iglesianicristo Sign Language Guide, Android and iOS version. We gladly introduce the new interface of our INC Sign Language Guide, Android, and the much-awaited iOS version. The INC Sign Language apps is a project of the Christian Society for the Deaf under the Christian Family Organization's Office of the Iglesianicristo Church of Christ. It is a part of the church's continuous intensive efforts to reach out to and care for the deaf, INC members and non-members alike. This free sign language app includes the following features: 8,000 plus vocabulary entries, all in video, customizable video playback speeds, examples of signed phrases and sentences, categorized everyday signs like alphabet, numbers, colors, greetings, educational terms, medical terms, legal terms, Iglesianicristo and religious terms, and many more. User maintainable favorites category, fast search and voice search. All features are available offline. And since these sign language applications contain phrases concerning the Iglesianicristo and religious terms, we could use these apps in inviting more deaf fellow men to learn the basic doctrines being taught inside the church. For more information, please visit www.iglesianicristo.net, www.facebook.com/Christian Family Organizations, www.facebook.com Christian Society for the Deaf. Thank you for your support.
You know what, Rye?
Hello, Jose. Yeah.
Hello, Earth to Ryan.
I'm so sorry. What's up?
I noticed you've been on your phone a lot lately,
Yeah, I've been really busy.
and I noticed it's been a while since you've caught up with me over phone call.
You're right. I'm sorry. I've just been busy. Like I said, family, work, so many things, life. When do you want me to call you?
How about sometime this week?
Okay, sure. I've been a bad friend. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
How has life been? Maybe I should call you next week.
Yes, like we
Okay.
discussed.
Yes, you're right.
You know, I totally understand that life gets busy, but it's still important to catch up with your friends and make time for that.
I know. That's true. I will do it. Thank you so much for reminding me. I feel like I need to remind myself and others too. I haven't caught up with a lot of people in my life.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome.
No matter how busy life gets, remember to communicate with your friends and family. You never know when they just need someone to talk to. This has been a reminder from INC Radio San Diego.
Buenos dias!
Buenos dias, Papa.
Maganda ang umaga natin kapag tayo ay sama-sama. Alamos na. At tayo ay mag-aalmusal na. Pero manalangin muna tayo ha.
Alis na po ako ng